Okay, one thing that derived energy focused in on and some of the other antinatalists, is that, oh, I keep assuming the child exists. We're talking about whether we create new life. And that is a quote from derived energy, create new life. And it is important in an issue like this or any philosophical issue to get as detailed as possible. And we do not create new life. There is no life form that creates new life. Life is perpetuated. When life stops, you cease the ability to so-called create the new life because you're actually perpetuating. If your life is gone, then you can't perpetuate it. Now, people get confused. They want to say that this is an argument of me, saying that we should live through our children as if it's you. No, it's a branching process. Life can branch, can copy. That's what it does. It can, branch and copy. That's what the cells do in your body all the time. And this is the way we branch life. So it's true that it's a fresh consciousness, but it's a perpetuation. It's a perpetuation of consciousness. Like the water in a river flows downhill. It doesn't do so forever. That's not an entirely continuous process. It has to evaporate and stop flowing in a river and go as gas up in the air and get dropped down again. When we say the river has existed for thousands of years, we're talking about that system existing and for thousands of years. Consciousness existing, same thing. We can say consciousness is existing for thousands of years, and it's laid down in an overlapping manner, like shingles on a roof. The fact is, we don't create life. So we're making a decision as living things whether or not to so-called create life, and we're really deciding whether we allow our tissue to join together in such a way as to invoke another consciousness, reincarnate, so to speak, or transincarnate, or sequentially incarnate, another personality. And I don't see any other way to make that decision but to look at our own understanding of the value of life and look at, the changing situation and knowing that we're going to bring this creature into our situation, looking at that situation, deciding on a case-by-case basis if that seems like a good idea to perpetuate the life which you already possess, into another conscious creature. And it seems to me it has to be a case-by-case basis. And that's the main difference between myself and derived energy and the antinatalists, is they're saying, no, I can answer for all cases. And yet they quote things that look to me like things that individuals have to sum up for themselves. If somebody suffers and then overcomes it, somebody has a joy and then they lose it, they're the one that has to add and subtract everything together and decide. And that means it would be case by case. But the antinatalists are saying, no, you can decide in general, objectively for everybody. But they haven't made that example when they talk about individuals for whom the summation is negative, because that's solved by, legalized suicide. It's like if you decide that your life adds up to a negative, you don't have to continue. That takes care of the individual by case basis, right? They're not saying that. They're saying everybody should decide not to exist in the first place, when in reality, the materials that person is going to be made of, both the living spark as well as all the chemicals, they already exist. Everything already exists. This question is, should that material flow into a living system? And that's why the question of, would you be better off being a rock, actually has some material validity to it, because we're talking about should mineral matter, non-living matter, be pulled up into living systems or not. Systems that are already living should, if there's more of them, they'll pull up more of the matter into biomass. And if there's less of them, more of the matter will be in non-biomass. And so that is the question. That is the real comparison.